Hi guys, you welcome to my channel. So today we want to look at something quite important, and in this class I just want you to watch it till the end because we are going to be pointing out some mistakes that we have been facing while coming up with a brand identity system for clients, and the reason for enough back and forth when you are working with your clients, especially if you don't send a contract. You send them your logo or whatever design you make for them, and they tell you that make this correction, make the correction, and the correction becomes endless. Yeah, the correction becomes endless to the point where you think the best way to keep your sanity is for you to send back their money, and that will be the end of the project. And like I will always say, it's not a good idea for you to refund money back to clients, though it might be a best option in some cases. Reason why I said it's not a good idea to return back money to clients is that there are some certain experience that we are expecting for your clients to go with. So if that they have a kind of experience that is not really palatable, and you refund them their money, what they are going to remember you for is not going to be something kind of nice. However, there are some cases whereby refunding money will still give them that sense of good relationship with you. However, knowing when to refund money is another thing that we need to talk about, but that's not the scope of this class. The scope of this class is to wrap up the exercise under the brand attributes that we talked about in our last class. When you look at the class where we discuss everything about brand attributes, you get to see that the last exercise that we ran, it's all about the tone of voice and also look and feel. This area is very, very important because this is the area that deals and determine the way you want to communicate and appear to your target audience. So it's very important you know how to get started. Oftentimes, designers usually think that they are the one in charge of creating what mood board, because that is where the message start from. That is where the look start from. That is where the feel start from. So knowing how to do this very well is going to help you to hit that exact result that you are looking for as a brand designer. Mind you, the whole of the exercise that we have been running since the beginning of this class is not meant for somebody that is creating a logo. However, this particular one we want to talk about is particular to either a logo designer, a brand identity designer, or a brand designer. But the entire class is majorly for brand designer and to an extent a brand identity designer. So, but for this class that we want to talk about today is for either logo designer, brand identity designer, or a brand designer. So let's get started. Now, when you talk about the look and the feel for a brand, or you talk about tone of voice of a brand, where we usually start from is after we've determined all of these things. Remember in the last class, we say when it comes to the tone of voice of the brand that we are using as a case study, we made mention of informative, encouraging, approachable, professional, and inspirational. These are what we refer to as their tone. And we say their voice is what? Knowledgeable, personable, supportive, innovative, and authentic. These are what we refer to as their voice. Now, those ones we made mention of now, somebody that wants to create the copy of that particular brand. When I say copy, the person that wants to come up with their content writing is the one that actually needs those ones that we just mentioned, and that is the tone and the voice. If you are writing scripts for the brand, if you are writing content for the brand, you need to understand those two very well. But if you are designing for the brand, there's need for you to understand the look and the feel. So it's quite important you know that. And when we talk about the look and the feel for that particular brand, we made mention of what? Modern, professional, creative, minimalist, and vibrant. These are the look that we are going for. And when it comes to the feel, what we want them to feel overall, including the design and the message of the design. What do we want the people that we are talking to, what do we want them to feel? We want them to feel welcoming, engaging, supportive, encouraging. Do you understand that now? Those are the things that we want them to feel when we brings together the content and we brings together the creative aesthetic part of the brand. Now, designer usually made a mistake while creating the aesthetic brand, part of the brand, especially when they are working on the brand identity system for the brand. And what's that mistake? The mistake is that we help clients to create mood board. You see, I know this is quite arguable, but there's need for you to understand it because there's nothing to argue here. And the reason why it's quite arguable is because we have some couple of clients who are very lazy to put in work that is required of them for their brand. So because of all these clients, designers tends to do some work that clients are the one that's supposed to do it. One of it is creating mood board. You are not the one to create mood board for clients. Clients are the one to create mood board. But because most of the clients that we are exposed to, especially being a beginner or intermediate designers, they are clients that has no clue about the results that they are looking for. And that's the reason why you are the one creating mood board for them. Am I making sense now? So if a client comes to meet you and they don't have clue about what they want to do, you can decide, okay, with the explanation you've given to me, this is a mood board. Does this look like the look you want to have? Am I making sense now? So that is if the client does not have clue. But I'm taking this class because right from where we start from till the point we are now, it means your client is fully aware of everything that's made up their branding system. So for that reason, they are the one to create the mood board. So when your client creates mood board, and how can you create one? Mood board is quite simple. It's for you to ask yourself, how do you want to appear? What are the look that you want to give people? What are the look that is expected of your brand, either now or in future? For example, some business might not have the capacity to create a website or create an app when they are starting up. Some cannot even afford to own an Instagram page whereby they're going to have a professional design done on it. Some do not have that capacity. However, they are getting started. So how do they want to look? Either now or in future, without you considering the whole of the circumstances that surround them now. How do you want to look? So just go on Google or go on Pinterest or go on Adobe Firefly or go on Canva or go on Freepik. So, you have enough places where you can get pictures. Are you getting it now? Start downloading pictures that's attractive, the kind of look he wants to be. If your brand happens to be human being, how do you want the brands to dress? You want to look for images that looks like the kind of dressing you are going for, either for your workers or for yourself. Am I making sense? Or for the kind of clients that you want to serve, how you are expecting those clients to be dressing. Do you get where I'm coming from now? So go on Google, get pictures. How do you want your design to look like? What are your aesthetic taste? Because here is another case. When it comes to aesthetic, designers don't understand that if you are to judge your professionalism with aesthetic, then a lot of your projects will fail. Because when it comes to taste, we have different ones. What I like, what attracts me, what I consider beautiful is different from what another person considers to be beautiful. And that's why you're going to see a very beautiful girl. And when you look at the husband, it's something else in terms of what the beauty. But what she's looking for in terms of beauty is not what you call beauty, and that's why they end up together. Do you get where I'm coming from now? So the same thing goes to design. That thing that you consider as a very beautiful design is not a beautiful design to somebody else. And that's the reason why a lot of beginners, intermediate designers, this argument is just too much. Oh, they don't know good designs, their design does not appear fine, and the likes. So that's a case of another day, because there is a difference in aesthetic taste. And that's the reason why your clients are the one to source for the kind of taste that they want for their brand, not you. If you source for the kind of taste they should have, then they might be, to an extent, they might agree with you, and to an extent, they might disagree. So if you both have similar taste, it's going to be a good job. If you have different taste, then it's going to be what? A turn down work. Then you have to what? Work on it again. But if they are the one that go out to get all these pictures, put it together and send it across to you, you tend to understand their aesthetic taste. You tend to understand how they want to look. And your own job now to communicate back to them that you understand the way they want to look and how they want to appear aesthetically. Your own is to create stylescape. Stylescape is the major work for you as a designer, not Moodboard. Moodboard is for your clients. Now, let's take for instance that you don't want to guide your clients. How do you guide them? That's another job that it is your job to do. And for you to do that, it's quite simple as well. What do I mean? Let's take for instance that your clients wants to go and gather images that they want to use for their work, for their mood board. Remember, the last exercise you run under the brand attribute is about the look and feel. And you are able to come up with the following keywords for the look of this particular brand. And what are those keywords? They include modern, professional, creative, minimalist, and vibrant for that particular brand that we are taking as a reference, that is Fix a Card. So this statement, you can now help your clients that if you want to look for images, these are the keywords that you are going to use to search for images. So start with modern. When you say modern, you can put a little bit of definitions so that you can get some kind of specific or go-to images. What do I mean? So you can tell your clients that, oh, when you say modern, what modern simply means is like you're talking about a sleek contemporary website or an app interface with what? Clean and a minimalist aesthetic. So you've tried to define what they are looking for in terms of modernity. So when they put it on Google, modern, contemporary, sleek website, app interface, poster, so they get to see a lot and they pick the ones that attract them. Maybe they downloaded 5 or how many. They keep it in the folder. Then goes to the next keyword. The next keyword is what? Professional. So, when they say professional, you're talking about being polished business card or a professional website with a redefined color palette. So, when they put that on Google, they get some images that attract them. They pick the ones that attract them. So when they pick the one that attract them, they save it in a folder also on their phone or on their laptop. Okay, what's the next keyword? Creative. So what do I mean by creative? So you can go and check for an innovative graphics with bold aesthetic elements. So when they get that as well, they keep it in a folder. Minimalist. Define what you mean by minimalist. Well, okay, it can be like a website homepage with a lot of white space, simple typography, minimal elements. Then vibrant colors. So when they put it on there, vibrant color, it tends to see different gradients, any colors that is a bit shouty and well appeared. So when they gather all of that, they'll put it together. When they put it together and send it across to you, you have a better understanding of what their aesthetic tastes look like. And that guides you in creating what they want. I hope you understand where I'm coming from now. Correct. So once they send you that picture of their mood board, just like you can see on the screen right now, let's take for instance that this is what we sent across to you as our mood board. Now you as a designer, that lets you understand our aesthetic what taste, and that helps you to know where to direct your design and what we are expecting from you that will not be rejected. Do you get where I'm coming from now? So for you now to return back to us that you've understand what we've said, next thing is for you to create a stylescape. So when you create a stylescape showing that at the end of the day, this is how your home brand is going to appear, then you can create like 2 to 3 stylescape and send it across back to them. So which of these 3 really match what you send to me? And they'll pick one. That one that they picked will now guide the kind of logo you want to make, the kind of color you are going for, the kind of mock-up you are going to use, and the list goes on. I hope you understand this now. So later in this on this channel, we are going to be talking about how to create stylescape, but there's still a lot for us to cover under building a brand. So we're not going to push any pixels right now or create any stylescape for now. So but just stick to this channel. You are going to see how we are going to undo the whole of the journey cohesively. I get this now, and you can get it clear. But I believe you understand this now. So subsequently, let your client be the one creating what? The mood board. There's nothing special in mood board. Anybody can create it. It's just what? The bringing together of images. If they don't have any app that they're going to use to bring this together, you can guide them. How they can use what? Google Workspace, how they can use what? Microsoft Word, how they can use Canva to create all these things if they cannot do it, if they cannot do one. And even if they cannot still do that, just tell them, gather all the images, send it across to me. You will help them to assemble it, send it back to them. These are the old images you pick. Am I right? Yes. Okay, if that should be the case, we are going to send back to you a stylescape to communicate how your brand is going to look relative to what? The mood board that you create. And with that, you're having what? A successful project journey. Do you get where I'm coming from now? So we're going to stop there for this class. In our next class, we are going to look for what we're supposed to start with when we are creating brand. You said all of the things we have been discussing since the beginning, from brand identity down to where we are right now, they are secondary. But the primary thing that you're supposed to do, which is creating a brand culture for your business, because you don't focus on building a brand. If you build a brand and your culture is faulty, the brand is going to collapse. Am I making sense now? And if you create a good culture is going to give birth to your dream brand. So why do I not explain culture before explaining all of this, since that is the primary? You will not understand culture, the essence of culture, if you don't understand all of these that we've talked about. It's just like you are studying quantum physics. Quantum physics, you might not what? You might not understand chapter 1. That until you are in chapter 4 or chapter 2, that you're going to understand what they are saying in chapter 1. But there's no best way to arrange it than to bring that thing that you're not that clear with first, before they will bring what we explain it later. Also, if you're a mathematician, if you are doing real analysis, for example, in college, if you do real analysis 1, you will not understand a lot of things until you took what, or you take real analysis 2. So when you are now doing analysis 2, that's when you start understanding some crazy things in real analysis 1. So life is like that, and that's why you need a teacher, not a skillful person. And I know you are good. Obviously you are good, and that's the reason why I'm here. Not because I'm good, it's because you are good, and I want you to show the world that you are, and we can make the world better together. So till then, let's keep creating. And if you don't know what, let me know how I can help. So how can I help?